Let's go Ravens! A moment that seemed like a routine substitution has turned into one of the most dramatic and exciting turning points of the season. It's about pride, redemption, and a second chance that's making fans rethink everything. What you're about to hear could be the spark or the downfall of the Ravens' playoff run. And believe me, you'll want to stick around until the end. But before we begin, don't forget to like this post if you're a true Ravens fan. It's always amazing to see fans of all ages supporting this team. And if you want, comment, "Go Ravens!" Let's flood the comments with that energy. The Ravens are still celebrating that gritty revenge win over the Bengals, but it's what happened beneath the surface that's got everyone talking. While Lamar Jackson silenced critics once again, avoiding the usual "he can't win big games" rhetoric, and the defense delivered Baltimore's first shutout since 2018. The most devastating headline came after the game. Rookie linebacker Teddy Buchanan is out for the season with a torn ACL. And that's not just a tough break, it's a crushing blow. This isn't your average rookie. Teddy Buchanan came in with doubters right out of the draft. People said maybe, just maybe, he'd get a chance to start year one. But most expected him to take a back seat, especially in a defense as complex and loaded as Baltimore's. And yet, by week one, he was already outsnapping Trenton Simpson, taking the job outright and never looking back. This wasn't a guy learning the ropes. He was leading the team in tackles, flying around the field, and earning NFL Defensive Rookie of the Month honors in October. He was the second leading tackler on this team. This was the guy the Ravens trusted to make stops in clutch situations. His energy, his speed, his instincts, it all clicked. But just like that, in a non-contact moment that made everyone watching cringe, he went down. And when Harbaugh confirmed the MRI, torn ACL, season over, it wasn't just heartbreaking for Buchanan. It was a moment of truth for the Ravens. Now the job falls back to Trenton Simpson, a player who's been here before and lost the job before. In fact, he's lost it twice. Once last season, again this season. But now, he's back in the spotlight. And here's where the story gets interesting. Because Simpson didn't just step in, he showed up. Against Cincinnati, the transition was seamless. His execution was sharp, his presence obvious, and the coaches wasted no time getting creative with him. They blitzed him, they disguised his coverages, and paired him with Tavius Robinson, who also turned in a standout performance. You could feel it, the urgency, the hunger. Maybe it's redemption season for Simpson. Maybe it's vengeance. Either way, this defense doesn't have time to adjust. Not with the Patriots, Packers, and Steelers on the horizon, and a playoff push still in the balance. But even with Simpson stepping up, fans aren't fully sold. One fan suggested a radical shift, using Kyle Hamilton as a hybrid linebacker for 75% of the snaps. And that's not as far-fetched as it sounds. Hamilton already plays everywhere: slot corner, deep safety, box defender. He's a Swiss Army knife. If anyone can cover that space left behind by Buchanan, it's him. Others are calling for Darius Washington to see more snaps alongside Malachi Starks, noting how his return may have lit a fire under Alohi Gilman, who just had his best game in purple and black. And that brings us to another ripple effect. Veteran Kyle Van Noy, who's been quiet this season, suddenly looked revitalized. Could it be the return of competition like Tavius Robinson pushing him? Could it be pressure making diamonds again? Whatever it was, Van Noy made his presence known, and that's huge for a pass rush that's struggled all season to find consistency. But the concerns are real. Fans are skeptical about Zach Orr's ability to hold this defense together against top-tier AFC offenses. The unit has been up and down all year, lights out one week, leaky the next. And the pass rush? Inconsistent. And that's the lifeblood of this scheme. When they pressure the quarterback, the defense thrives. When they don't, it's open season in the secondary. Still, the win over Cincinnati offered hope. The kind of hope that makes fans think maybe, just maybe, this team is figuring it out at the right time. The offense wasn't spectacular, but it was balanced. The run game clicked. Lamar made smart decisions, including checkdowns, something fans have begged to see more of. Keaton Mitchell, Derrick Henry, and even Justice Hill looked dangerous out of the backfield. But this is still Baltimore, and that means no win comes without questions. Zay Flowers, who's been electrifying at times, had a rough game, dropping a touchdown and tipping a pass into an interception. He's a WR1 in talent, no doubt, but moments like that have fans wondering if the consistency will be there when it matters most. Still, fans are fired up. The haters are quiet, for now, and there's a growing feeling that this team, despite all the setbacks, is getting better. Not perfect, but better. And maybe, just maybe, that's all they need. Now here's where things start getting even more intense. Because while Trenton Simpson's bounce back is one of the feel-good angles of this season, it's also one of the riskiest. This isn't a mid-season experiment. This is trial by fire, in a playoff race, with 3 games left and 0 margin for error. And the truth is, this isn't just about Simpson doing enough. He has to be more than a stopgap. He has to be the answer. Let's be real. The Ravens' defense works when it plays fast, instinctive, and disciplined. And Buchanan was the guy setting the tone in the middle. He was quick to the ball, smart in coverage, and he had chemistry with Roquan Smith. That chemistry isn't something you just replicate overnight. That's built through reps, mistakes, corrections, and more reps. Now Simpson has to fast track all of that. And what fans are asking is completely fair. Can he really do it? He's athletic, no doubt. The talent is there. But is the decision-making, the anticipation, the discipline? We saw flashes against Cincinnati. We saw hunger. But now we need consistency. Because the Patriots, for all their struggles, are still a disciplined football team. The Packers, they're finding a rhythm late. And the Steelers, that rivalry brings out a different level of intensity every single time. And here's the wild card, asterisk asterisk Zach or asterisk asterisk. The Ravens defensive coordinator has been under the microscope all season. Some fans want him gone. Others believe he's improving. But nobody is denying the pattern: slow starts, inconsistent pass rush, and blown coverages early in games. And if there's one thing that could unravel this playoff push, it's that. The good news is that when Baltimore's defense locks in, they're elite. Not just good, asterisk elite star. We saw it with the shutout. The blitz packages were on point. The secondary confused the Bengals into bad reads. Marlon Humphrey was back. Kyle Hamilton was everywhere. And the run defense stifled Derrick Henry and Keaton Mitchell. That's what this team can be. But we've also seen the opposite. Games where the defense looks lost, where quarterbacks have all day in the pocket, and where the pass rush disappears for entire quarters. And that's why the next few weeks will be so revealing, not just for the defense, but for the team's leadership. Because for as much as fans love John Harbaugh, there's a growing conversation behind the scenes. Some are starting to ask, is this the ceiling with him? And if the Ravens fall short again, despite this roster, despite this opportunity, what does that mean for the future? The idea of replacing Harbaugh isn't just some wild fan fiction anymore. It's creeping into real conversation. And the most interesting name? Zach Orr. Yes, the same Zach Orr some fans want gone as DC. Others believe he might be the heir apparent. The front office speaks highly of him. He's in the Harbaugh coaching tree. But that might be the problem. Some fans want a total reset, not a promotion from within. They're tired of the same patterns, the same flaws, the same identity. And if Zach Orr wants to prove he deserves a bigger role someday, it starts now. Because these next 3 games are his audition, whether he knows it or not. There's also one other layer here that nobody can ignore: Kyle Hamilton's evolving role. There's already chatter about him playing more linebacker snaps. And the more you watch him, the more it makes sense. He's big enough, fast enough, and smart enough to play anywhere on the field. And with Buchanan gone, the Ravens might be tempted to unleash Hamilton in ways we've never seen before. But that comes at a cost. When Hamilton is closer to the line, you lose his deep coverage skills. And suddenly the secondary, already thin at times, becomes vulnerable. It's a balancing act, one that Zach Orr has to navigate perfectly. Let's also not overlook Darius Washington. His return has already sparked competition in the DB room. It's no coincidence that Alohi Gilman had his best game the same week Washington came back. Sometimes pressure creates progress. And that's exactly what the Ravens need. Players pushing each other, elevating each other, sharpening each other. And speaking of pressure, asterisk asterisk Zay Flowers asterisk asterisk is feeling it too. There's no sugarcoating it. He hurt the team last game. That drop in the end zone and the deflected pick were momentum killers. And in the playoffs, you don't survive those kinds of mistakes. But to his credit, Flowers continues to show resilience. He made other clutch catches. He stays involved. He's not shrinking from the spotlight. But he's got to be more dependable, because this team needs every inch of efficiency it can get down the stretch. And yet, through all the adversity, the injuries, the inconsistency, the questions about coaching, this team still controls its own destiny. That's the beauty of football. One week, you're doubted. The next, you're a contender. One play can flip a narrative. One injury can rewrite a season. But here's what we want to know. Do you believe in Trenton Simpson? Can he be the guy that steps up, silences the doubts, and leads this Ravens defense into the playoffs? Or is the loss of Teddy Buchanan a blow this team just can't absorb? Asterisk asterisk. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and check out the next video that's right on the screen now. Let's keep the conversation going, because this season's just getting started.